National Board, headed by Engineer Clemeno, Attorney, IPP Vic Domingo, and the rest, hindi ko na pamagitin. But just maybe mention, katatapos lang ng ating North Luzon, no? Sa Baguio, we have here the chairperson, Engineer Pons Torres. So, sana matapos natin ito kaagad-agad kasi medyo mahaba, napahaba yung aking research. This is not my forte, but it's already part of what we, as an obligation, ng isang Pilipino. Siguro maganda, maintindihan natin ito. Una-una malaman bago maintindihan. Ngayon, para maintindihan, kailangan makinig. Diba? Kailangan makinig. Sorry, I have also to acknowledge, of course, the regional president of the host region, which is 7, and the rest of the board of directors. So, the title of my presentation is Deciphering the Issues Concerning the West Philippine Sea. Ito ay isa sa mga unang topics siguro na maririnig nyo sa isang GE. At ito'y pinag-uusapan din sa eskwelahan at ito ay nakapanood sa tinatawag nating United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which is also being given as part of the licensure examination subject matters. So, ito po as part of the learning objectives. Let me run through the objectives to refresh the memories of the participants on some relevant geographic information about the country, to increase the level of awareness of participants about the country's territorial and maritime boundaries. The third is to know and be able to comprehend the issues besetting the West Philippine Sea and the South China Sea. And lastly, to discuss related views and opinions to address the issues. So, bakit na... Next slide. Yeah. So, bakit natin napili itong topic na ito? I was asked by Engineer Sakit. Diyan ko. Ano pa ang topic na i-discuss natin? Well, it has been yung traditional siguro at naging kaugalian na rin ng my part na i-discuss ng mga topic na hindi na karaniwan na hindi napipresent sa conventions of area or national. We have this topics Region 1, Press Week. If you recall, ito yung effect ng rotation ng pole doon sa coordinates natin. Yung sumunod yata is about yung sea level rise. So, these are nice things that we should know, or we must know as surveyors or genetic engineers. Dapat tayo yung unang makaalam kasi may implikasyon sa ating trabaho saka sa ating profesyon. This is also important because it concerns all of us. Of course, our sovereign rights is at stake. The second is anticipated scenarios in the West Philippine Sea and the South China Sea are very alarming. Siguro, lahat kayo, mayroong smartphone, i-type nyo lang yan, YouTube, maririnig nyo lahat yung mga pinag-uusapan dyan. West Philippines is an important, at the same time, strategic part of the country. And the topic is also relevant, as I've said earlier, and it is an advanced topic that must be discussed and worth sharing. So, with that, next slide please. Ito yung outline, maiksi lang, no? Apat lang na parts. Tingnan lang natin yung mga related info, geographic information about the archipelago, the Philippine territorial maritime boundaries, issues and concerns, and we end up with some recommendations and opinions, personal opinions. So first, the Philippine archipelago. Next slide, please. Now, I'd like to ask if you are to describe the bounds of the archipelago, ano yung nasa kanan? If you're facing, hindi naman na-i-adjust ito. Pwedeng itaas. Ano yung nasa kanan ng Philippines? Ha? Pacific Ocean. Tama. Okay. Ano yung nasa itaas? North. Bounded by, parang gano'n, di ba? So, ano ilalagay natin? By Region 6. Tatlo pa yan, Region 6. Nasa ba Region 6? Sa likod? Sa gitna? Ano nasa north? Okay, Region 7. Ano yung nasa baba? South of the Philippines. Ha? Ha? Celebes Sea. Very good. Ano yung nasa kaliwa?
West Philippines.
Ano yan? Oh, yan. Dalawa. No? Sino kaya ang totoo? West Philippine Sea at saka South China Sea. So, tingnan natin. Yung North. Huwag niyo kalimutan. Next slide. Of course, Taiwan. But I think it's already incumbent upon us to, adapt what's in the Hague ruling. Nanalo tayo sa arbitration. So, yun yung gamitin natin. West Philippine Sea. Now, every time Dr. Solidum presents, yung about earthquakes, etc., lagi niyang pinapakita ito. Kasi maraming mga dynamics or earthquakes, sabihin natin, crustal motions na nangyari ilang millions of years na nakakaraan. But yung mga ganong earthquakes, sila din pala yung reason why nabuo yung mga sceneries natin, or shall we say, wonders of nature. Kasama dyan yung Bohol, which is the Chocolate Hills, and many others like in Pangasinan, 100 Islands, Banawe, yung rice terraces, and sa Mindanao, yung different layers of changes in elevation, yung sa Agus River, na naging source ng hydroelectric power nila. So, in terms of topography, next slide please. Ayun, hindi pa nakasunod. In terms of topography, ayan, makikita natin yung water bodies. However, if you notice on the west of that slide, doon sa left ninyo, nandun pa rin yung South China Sea. And the 18, sabi nila 19 na ito, major river basins are as shown on screen. So this is Philippines. Next slide. Ito naman yung mga major geographic features, and you can see Visayas over there. At maraming mga mountain ranges, plateaus, etc. Because of those events, geologic events, na-form sila. And these are, next slide, the land utilization map of the Philippines. Although hindi lang masyadong linaw sa atin, yan po yung it's not current, but the latest information that we can show you. Philippines, as shown, iba-iba yung kanyang present land utilization. And so with the different resources that we have on the right side. But I'd like to segue now to the Philippine commerce through the years, because dito papasok yung mga naging traders na kaibigan natin na sila ngayon ang nandun sa tinatawag yung seas, West Philippine Sea and South China Sea. Well, nag-umpisa yan sa barter trade and then Chinese trades, mga 1560s yata yun, and then and so on and so forth. Hanggang sa, we're not advertising Lazada here. But parang ganun yung trend ngayon. So the latest is online. So you have those kind of or means to be able to buy something out of what is present in the market. And previously, ito yung mga sea lanes natin. So, you will have an appreciation how important is the western part of the country. Kasi nandyan ang major sea lanes natin. So, from the western part of Palawan, this is Palawan, papunta doon sa Luzon Strait, between Batanes and Taiwan. And crisscrossing also dito sa bandang baba. This is the boundary of Palawan and this is Sabah, and then yung Tawi-Tawi and the same strait. And other sea lanes going east or the eastern seaboard or vice versa. So I hope that refreshes us, at least na-recall natin yung importance pala. Pero being an archipelago, makikita nyo, very loose. I mean, kahit sino pwedeng pumunta. East, south, west, north, which is ganun naman ang nangyari in the past. Ngayon, tingnan naman natin ngayon yung mga tinatawag nating territorial and maritime boundaries. Next slide, please. Para maintindihan natin, because sabi nga ng Supreme Court, tama ba? Nandiyan ba si PNP Ruel? When you talk of boundaries, you have to deal with genetic engineers. Sabi ng Supreme Court, maybe si Honorable Court, they can also address that. Ito yung mga pinagmulan. Next slide, please. We started with the Treaty of Paris. Maalala nyo yan sa Bucket College. Laws natin. So it says here that the Treaty of Paris, issued in 1898, officially ended the period of Spanish colonial in the Philippines. And US paid, nagbayad pala US, $20 million to Spain para mapasa kanila yung Pilipinas. And the treaty also gave control of the Philippines to the US, given those arrangements. So remember, Treaty of Paris, 1898. Next is, this is the PD 1596, which establishes or created the Municipality of Kalayaan. So meron tayong Municipality of Kalayaan na nasa loob ng Palawan. And it is a distinct and a separate municipality. So, yun po yung nakapadoo. This is Palawan, Princess over here. So, nasa western part ng province of Palawan. Next slide, please. Very quickly, just to summarize, sinama na ho natin lahat dyan. The Treaty of Paris, nandun po. And take note that we have the United States and UK Convention dated 1930. Okay? December 15, 1930. Meron mo sa dito kanina? This one. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So here, yung chronology ng issuances. Nagkaroon tayo ng RA 3046, RA 5446. Please take note of the dates, ha? Ayan. Parehas na araw ginawa ng former president, the old Marcos. And this is about, sabi ko, Kalayaan, and there was an amendment immediately during that day. And the latest was RA 9522, okay? Issued or approved on March March 10, 2009. Okay? So, please take note that itong hindi masyadong nababanggit yan. But this convention established the boundary between Philippines doon sa may Celebes, no? At saka yung North Borneo. So ito yun. And that's the boundary between the Philippine Archipelago and the state of North Borneo. Signed January 2, 1930. Next slide, please. Now, I'd like to segue ulit sa isang topic because this one established the boundary of the country in accordance with an international law. So ito yung tinatawag natin UNCLOS. UNCLOS. Maraming hindi nakakasagot sa mga academic institutions ito. Pag tinanong ni Honorable Cordy, ano ba yung mga references niyo? Ano ba yung mga tinuturo niyo? Hindi nababanggit ko. Pero kailangan talaga malaman natin, lalo na tayo at tayo mga practitioners. So, ito yung in-adapt 1982 and the UNCLOS uses, ito yung law that governs the uses of the oceans at saka yung mga resources. And the law also embodies in one instrument traditional rules for the uses of the oceans and had introduced new legal concepts and regimes and addresses new concerns. So, nagbabago yan. There are some 1982 pa kasi yan. So, there are instances na mimit nila during settlement of boundary disputes between and among nations, and so they try to update the provisions of UNCLOS. And it also provided a framework for further development of the specific areas of the law of the sea. Now, I will not delve on paano ba natin yan dinidelineate, but I'd like to show you some maritime boundaries. Next slide, please. Unang-una dyan, yung kung tinatawag nating territorial sea. That is 12 nautical miles from the baseline. Yung baseline po natin, these are drawn using the outermost points of the archipelago. So, sa region, sa Visayas area na lang, meron pa tayong outermost points of the archipelago. Saan region makikita yan? Region 8, particularly Samar. Yan. Of course, sa Cebu, wala yan kasi doon sa western side, Palawan. Okay? So, yan. At saka another 12 nautical miles, yung tinatawag natin contiguous zone. Okay? And dyan, by the way, ano ba ang pagkakaiba ng nautical miles sa kilometers? Kasi sa atin, ano tayo nasanay tayo sa metric. Okay? Dalawa yan, nautical miles and miles. Okay? Alin ang mahaba? Alin ang mahaba? Nautical miles o kilometers? Nautical miles. So, okay. Ganon din ang miles. Mahaba din ang miles kaysa kilometers. 1 kilometer is equivalent to 0.5 nautical miles, while sa miles, 1 kilometer is 0.6 per mile. Okay? And then yung exclusive economic zone from the territorial sea papunta doon, 200 nautical miles. Okay? I will show you in a little while yung ating mapa dyan. And then the continental shelf, magagaling dito, 350 nautical miles yan towards the oceans. Okay? Or the high seas. Meron din tayong tinatawag na internal waters. Anything that is inside the baseline are called internal waters. Celebes Sea portion, and then Sulu Sea. Diba? Nasa loob dito. Next slide, please. Just to show further, yan po yung configuration niya. Hindi lang malinaw kasi, and I don't know if you can still read this. Alright, so meron din tinatawag tayo sa UNCLOS na regime of islands. Next slide, please. Kasi may mga provisions na hindi pwedeng i-connect mo lang na i-connect yung mga base points. Okay? May provision doon sa UNCLOS na yung total baselines mo, pag tinotal yan, pwede ka lang sumobra sa 100 nautical miles of at least 3% of the total. Let's say 100 tayo, tatlong lines lang, pwede kang sumobra sa 100 nautical miles. So pag kinonect mo yung outermost sa Masinloc, Sambales papuntang Scarborough, so sobra yan. And then babalik, edi Tanawan na yun. Pagdating mo sa Kalayaan, sobra-sobra na ng 100 nautical miles. Kaya, ginamit nila yung term na regime of islands. Yung definition niya, nandiyan. Okay? So, with that, kagaya nito, hindi pwede ko yan. I will explain later on yung options na yan. And this will show you yung kung paano na come up yung ating baselines look. Because you need to have the technical description. Next slide, please. So, 4 na options po ang pinag-aralan ng government natin. Okay? At ito po ay involving main archipelago, the KIG or Calayan Island, the Scarborough. And dito, sa option 1, in-enclose yung buong archipelago, but the Calayan Islands in-enclose as region of islands at in-enclose yung isinama yung Scarborough. Ito na-maximize natin kaya lang yung area, but hindi ho siya compliant sa ating UNCLOS. So, the next, close yung main archipelago, but regime of islands yung dalawa, Kalayaan and Scarborough Shoal. So, this one preserves diplomatic relations and UNCLOS compliance here. The third, in-enclose yung dalawa, main archipelago, the Calayan Island group, pero yung Scarborough lang ang regime of islands. Okay? And then, hindi na ako makita yun, but similarly, sa 4, okay, lahat po ay in-enclose. Pwede ko siya ipinaloob lahat. No? Main archipelago, KIG, at saka po yung ating Scarborough. But it only says that hindi ho siya compliant sa UNCLOS. So sa tingin nyo, with the 4 options, ano yung dapat na i-adapt ng Pilipinas? Option, ano ba yun? Yan. Option 2. Sabi ni bro, 2. Okay. Next one. Yan. Okay. So, preserves diplomatic relations and it is compliant with the UNCLOS. So, ito na yung ating mapa ng, next slide please, territory. Yan po. So, yung option 2, ito yan, in-enclose yung buo, but regime of islands yung dalawa. So, in-enclose yun, in-enclose siya. When you say regime of islands, may sarili siyang territorial sea, meron siyang sariling contiguous zone, meron siyang EEZ, and qualified din siya magkaroon ng continental shelf, kung meron. Meron ba tayong continental shelf sa Philippines? May ask? Meron? Wala? Meron. Saan lugar? Di ba yan yung sa Nueva Ecija? O yan yung sa Los Baños? Iba yung Philippine Rice Research Institute on the Field Rice sa Nueva Ecija. Ito yung Philippine Rice as in R-I-S-E. Nandun ho yan sa east of Isabela. Malapit kila Honorable Gordy yun. Di ba, sir? Yun. Okay. Yun. So, ganito po itsura niya. Pero, alam ba natin na ganito yung ating territory? Hindi, di ba? Ang alam natin, ganyan. Kasama yan. Sa Pacific Ocean. Attempts na pumunta ang mga Chinese vessels sa Indonesia at immediately, yun, hinahanap nila. Pinaulan nila sila. There was that incident. Next slide, please. So, there was this legal victory in Kanga. So, ito yung sinasabi ko on January 22, 2023. The Philippines instituted arbitral proceedings against China in Hague, you know? Hague, Netherlands. At nanalo nga tayo. Next slide, please. And next. Findings that China's claims were contrary to laws and have exceeded their geographic limits as shown kanina imposed by it. So, ang sinasabi dito sa second part, kahit na anong build-up or construction ang gawin mo sa isang feature ang tawag nila, doon sa high seas, hindi pa rin siya mag-qualify or capable of generating exclusive economic zone of that country or even extended continental shelf. So yun, they are backing on their historic rights actually. Sinasabi nila, matagal na kami dyan, many thousand years ago. But it's an international law that we're talking about here. Next slide, please. So, bakit importante ba yung ating West Philippine Sea? So, as shown on screen, fisheries production. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. We have rich coral reefs, but maraming mga problema na rin ngayon because hindi na-regulate, nobody is in charge. And the wealth of natural resources. Maraming oil dyan. Trillions or billions of barrels and trillions of cubic feet of natural gas. At marami doon sa reed bank ang deposit, which is within the exclusive economic zone of the Philippines. Marami pang unexplored hydrocarbon resources in the area. Okay? So that's about the territory. You know? Ano naman yung mga socio-economic issues? Next is, of course, next slide please, yung social impact. No? Next slide please. Yung psychological trauma sa mga fisher folks. Of course, yung mga nagpupunta ron na mga fishermen, sila yung unang nakaharas, na-intimidate. Yung iba na-abandon na yung kanilang pag-fishing. And so, yung iba, they were paralyzed because of the cannons, water cannons. Okay? So, yun yung sinasabi ko dito. Next is, again, a different type of economic impact and loss of livelihood. So, malaki impact niya sa national economy natin and of course, the local fisher folks. Okay. Malaki ang nawala sa atin. Okay? In terms of environmental issue, next slide please. Nakita nyo naman ito siguro sa social media, sinira nila yung coral reefs. Yung, source of food and other resources para mabuhay yung mga isda. And this is really badly felt in the provinces of Zambales and Pangasinan. Okay? So, killing of fish and other living resources Yan po ang nangyayari sa West Philippine Sea. Next slide please. In terms of security, ito ngayon. Next slide. Yun. Sa tingin nyo, kaya bang i-rehab yan? Ha? Kaya ba? Kaya ba? Hindi na. Yung nasa likod, kaya pa? Kaya pa. Sabi, kaya pa. So, magre-resupply lang. At, ayun. Ito ngayon ang nagiging sanhi ng mga issues ngayon. Yung resupply mission. Parang pa rito ang mga barko natin. At ito ngayon, water cannons, no? Binubomba nila ang mga fisher folks natin na nandun naglalaya sa West Philippine Sea. And of course, tatapatan ka ngayon ng humigit kumulang 30 na malalaking, sabi nila, civilian-rated vessels. Pero malay natin kung anong meron dyan, diba? Hindi naman natin nakikita. Okay? So, maingat tayo, but what is good now is that the government is also fast-track the modernization of the resources. Sana mabilis. At isa pa, kailangan din ay magkaroon ng adequate and appropriate training. Next slide please. So, ang problema kasi dito, with these issues, no, baka sabi nila mag-escalate doon sa Indo-Pacific. So, it's not anymore Philippines, but also lahat na yan. Australia, New Guinea, Japan, and other countries. Dito rin, no? India and other countries within Indo-Pacific. So, sana magkaroon ng problema. So, given those, these are some sets of, recommendations. And for the claimant states, it says here, next slide please. Next slide please. They have or they must bring claims to jurisdiction in the South China Sea into conformity with international laws. So kailangan talaga base sa batas, international law, particularly on laws. To the claimant states and China, claimant, kasi sinabi kong lima kanina, there's a need to accelerate yun pong negotiations. Take note on a substantive and legally binding code of conduct. Substantive and legally binding code of conduct. Meron pong pinag-uusapan ngayon, code of conduct sa South China Sea. Next slide will show recommendations. These are not my recommendation, but from an author. No? So he said that for the Philippine government, it has to encourage the establishment of risk management mechanism. Kasi nga, it's not only about fish production or productivity in the fishery areas, but also may implication din sa environment and security, including economic implications. The Philippines should promote bilateral, multilateral structures for negotiations, and this must focus on issues of common interest between and among the claimant states. The third is maintain dialogue with China through the bilateral consultative mechanism, and that's the reason why from the report or news, nagpunta yata ang presidente natin ulit sa China to discuss all those things. Now, next slide will show my personal opinion, and this is in accord with yung WPS, West Philippine Sea. The first one is the West Philippine Sea must be well appreciated that ito talaga ay importante of great significance strategically sa Pilipinas. Pag hindi natin na-appreciate yan, ay wala. Sige lang, wala at maganda. what is important, kailangan yan na itong communicate natin sa mga colleagues natin within sanghanin natin, no? Para at least naiintindihan nila. Okay? The second is promote appropriate but reliable bilateral and multilateral structures and mechanisms. So kasama dyan yung code of conduct and the arbitral ruling. The third is strengthen the arbitral ruling with or which authoritatively affirm the maritime position of the country. Pag hindi natin yan inadapt, napag-usapan, ay wala talaga. Sayang lang yung batas natin. Hanggang batas na lang siya, hindi na implement. Next slide please. This is my third to the last slide. I hope I'll be still nasa oras. On the SCS, no? Sovereign rights must be the primordial basis, hindi yung historic rights na gusto ng China. Okay? So ito yung naging basihan po ng Philippines, kaya nanalo. Sovereign rights. Confidence building and conflict prevention measures. Confidence building, pwede tayong sumama dyan. That's the reason why we have this ASEAN meetings. Yung ASEAN Federation of Land Surveying and Geomatics, meron po tayong Chinese counterpart sumasama dyan. Every time merong ASEAN flag meeting. So those are measures which we can also adapt para magkaroon ng hindi masyadong security or military ang pinag-uusapan, but it's more of bilateral or multilateral partnership with professionals. Speed up the modernization and upscaling of AFP. That is very important para po naman makatapat tayo dun sa ating counterpart. So these are just opinions, my views does not necessarily part of the views of the PRC or whichever institution. Okay, my first takeaway is from the former Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, Honorable Antonio Carpio, which once said, our sovereignty is far more important than any position in government or in private, in the academy, or presidency. Alam naman natin ang pinanggagalingan may hukot. But a president, sabi niya, can come and go. But our sovereign rights should remain with us forever. Do you agree? Isa lang nag-iiyak sa harap eh. Do you agree?
Yes.
Walang eh, doon sa likod. Do you agree? Yes. Okay, ito naman yung last takeaway number 2. Ang sabi ni Presidente Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., Rappler ang nag-ano niya na, you know what is Rappler? Diba? Rappler. We have a very important ruling in our favor. And we will use it to continue to assert. Hindi kasi nakikita, babasahin ko na lang. Our territorial rights. It is not a claim. It is already our territorial right. So, wala na yung claim. Burahin na, panalo na tayo. The only thing is, meron tayong kapitbahay na ayaw, i-recognize yung hate ruling. So, that's the dilemma now. So, I think with this, sabi ko nga, I hope that we are able to share something para sa Visayas Area Assembly. On behalf of course, the Professional Regulatory Board of Geodetic Engineering, a pleasant afternoon at marami pong salamat sa inyong pakikinig. Thank you so much.
Yung Philippines kasi, sa mobile archipelago, ano po ba yung implication niyan when it comes to yung measurement natin sa baseline, ganyan. So, meron po ba, ano po ba yung general na direction ng Philippine Archipelago natin? Kasi, yun nga, di ba, China yung parang ayaw natin. Paano po ba?
Okay. Linawin ko lang yung baseline, hindi ito yung baseline na in-establish sa Davao lately. We're talking here of the baselines pursuant to UNCLOS.
Yes.
Okay. Malapit na tayong makarating sa China. Kasi ilang sentimetro ba yung survey? 7 centimeters per year going towards China. But of course, that will take millions of years probably. And yun nga. Well, the best thing that should be incorporated, kasi ako galing ako sa Nagre, it's not that, kailangan talaga may regular na observation ng mga points, including the baselines. Kung yun ang concern ninyo, ma'am. Kasi para malaman natin, gaano ba siya kabilis. Okay? At kabagal. Okay? And kailangan talaga dyan ay, ano bang ideal surfing every 5 years? Sama na natin yung first order. Meron pa tayong tinatawag sa zero order sa Lamria. So, isama na yung base points. So, 5 years will be okay siguro. Now, babalik ako sa GEP. Pag nagkaroon ng observation, ano ibig sabihin? Re-observation.
Okay.
Hanap buhay, di ba, sir? Chairman. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan talaga ang GEP, medyo lapit-lapit sa mga agencies na i-propose. Kasi kung hindi, ay hindi natin malalaman mga ganyan. Nandun na siya sa research and development. Research results. But operationally, kailangan talagang magkaroon ng ganun mga datos. In other countries, talagang kasi kompleto na sila Meron silang course. CORS hindi COU. Course stations. Sa atin din naman, I don't know if that's already enough. But I guess it has to be done sustainably. Alright? Ma'am, have we addressed your question? Okay.
Thank you very much. So may I ask again another question from Engineer Henson.
Yeah, dito.
May talo-talo po sa question and answer portion. Mga officers po ang nag-ask.
Yeah, dito.
Sir, good afternoon. I would like to ask if NAMRIA had already published our boundaries, just like in municipal waters ba, my boundaries between municipalities, municipal water boundaries. Do we have that for the entire Philippines? We know. Do we have the coordinates? Because wala pa ako nakita, drawing eh. So do we have that?
Mamaya papasa ko yung mikropono kay Sir P. Pero to my recollection, umalis ako sa NAMRIA 2009. Ibig sabihin nandun na yung batas. No? But ang sinasabi sa batas, NAMRIA must come up with yung mga mapa na gano'n, national. Including, ang sinasabi niya is yung regime of islands. A week ago, nagtanong ako sa Coastal Genetic Survey, which is now the hydrographic branch of NAMRIA. Ang sabi sa akin, hindi na daw sila nagbibigay ng mapa gano'n kasi may instruction ang DFA not to provide anything that is on the website ng DFA. Kung anong meron doon, yun na yun. But I think it does not show yung mga pinakita ko kanina. Very, mabilis yung media Actually, Inquirer, Yung iba dyan is Rappler, yung ibang references. But these are very important sa atin. Lalo na sa ating profession. Kasi basic eh. Nasaan yung national territory ng Philippines? Nasaan yung boundaries? Okay? Sir, would you like to add? Yung mga mapa daw siya, meron pa daw ba sa NAMRIA? Kaya lang last time when I asked, oh by the way, the director there is newly installed. Si, ano sir?
Carter.
Carter. Sir.
Yung coordinates material ni Vito.
Yes.
Yung mapa sir, kung meron daw bang mapa na ginawa ng NAMRIA?
Mayroon.
Yeah.
Kasi di ba sir, kung may mapa yan, mayroon tayong coordinates.
Mayroon. Actually, yung baseline points, ipinat namin yan on 1 is to, I think, initially 250,000. Di ba may mapa namin na 250,000? I think in the early 1970s, parang escape from the map lang yun yung coordinates eh. Yung baseline points na ginamit sa pag-inap ng bill or the archipelagic law. So, escape lang. Hindi naman talaga yung na-occupy ng GPS. Wala pang GPS doon eh. Wala pa. Ginamit lang yun, rough coordinates, para magkaroon lang ng baseline. Anyway, 200 nautical miles yung mga ganun din. Meron din doon yung mga ibang points. Maraming points yun na hindi lang, anong tawag ito, na-occupy. Scale off from the mountain. Pero meron yun. Pero actually nasa web yung scale na coordinates eh. Meron yun.
Yan na sir, kasi for us, genetic engineers, if we see a map, alam natin na dinrawing yan based on coordinates.
Yes.
Di ba? Ang sa akin lang, sana ma-plot natin sa Google, makagawa na niyang TMZ, okay, file, para kung hanggang saan yung limit, at saka yung saan pa banda yung West Philippine Sea. Kasi hanggang drawing lang tayo, di ba? So, to be more specific, if you have coordinates sa municipal water limits, nagbibigay ang NAMRIA, why they cannot publish yung limit talaga ng Pilipinas with respect to the other countries na gano'n. We know, sabi mo nga, the Philippines is moving towards China, 7 cm per year. Diba? So, paano natin ma-monitor yun? Kung wala tayong specific coordinates na maigawa natin ng PH5.
If you are able to get or retrieve the law, archipelagic law, nandun yun yung coordinates. Meron doon. Meron. And the monitoring is being done by both the FIVOLCS and NAMRIA. Meron silang annual observation, lalo sa FIVOLCS. Aside from the NAMRIA component, meron silang monitoring of the tectonic plate motion of the Philippines. Meron yun. Meron.
Sana ma-publish ng GEP para at least alam din natin as practitioners.
Kung meron tayong researchers dyan, they can retrieve that from the...
I can share the
Thank you.
I can share the law showing the coordinates of the points 9522. Yeah. I-Viber ko na lang kayo ulit. Alright? Madam Moderator.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So may I ask Engineer Pagkar, our VAA President, for the plaque that reads Geodetic Engineers of the Philippines Incorporated, Regional Divisions 6, 7, and 8. Plaque of appreciation is hereby presented to Engineer Randolph S. Vicente, Chairman, CPD Council, Board of Geodetic Engineering, for being the honorary speaker to the 39th Area Assembly of Geodetic Engineers of the Philippines Incorporated with the theme Mapping the Future, Embracing Innovations and Technological Advancement on Geodetic Engineers, with the topic Deciphering the Issues Concerning the West Philippine Sea, given this 24th day of November 2023 at Villa Tomasa Alona Kio Beach Resort, Panglao, Bohol, signed Engineer Teofisto P. Pagar Jr., VAA Chairman. The speaker is requesting for a photo opportunity. So that was technical session number 2. 2 out of 6 technical sessions for this afternoon. So we will now move on to the 3rd technical session.